Would you like ideas for getting the most from your Christmas patterned paper? Hi, I'm Jess from JessCrafts.com, paper crafter of over 20 years and creator of paper busting templates that help you make the most of your crafty supplies and time. So let's get making. Today I have a Christmas in July type video where I am going to make some Christmas cards, but I'm not going to only make Christmas cards. I have done a couple of these and we'll share them throughout July where I am taking Christmas paper and sometimes even Christmas embellishments and I am using them to make not Christmas cards. And so today I'm working with 12 by 12 paper busting template for 5 by 7 cards, number 5, and this Crate Paper Hey Santa collection. This particular paper is called Christmas Magic. I have purchased it at the thrift store in like a big pack of paper with just all kinds of different collections and everything mixed through. And there was a lot of Christmas, and when I looked at it, there were many pieces of paper that were part of Christmas collections that had either one side that was neutral or both sides that I thought you could make work for non-Christmas cards. And this was one of them where it's very Christmassy on this side, and then the other side is just a very kind of like plain simple pattern. And so we're going to take advantage of that today. And this paper busting template makes 4 5 by 7 cards with 1 sheet of 12 by 12 paper. So we're going to make 2 Christmas cards and 2 not Christmas cards today. Let's get started with our cutting. When using tools like paper trimmers, please follow all manufacturer's safety instructions. We'll want to start by cutting off the branding strip. And in this particular instance, there is a little bit left of that back pattern and actually this front pattern. This piece, I mean, it's really small, so it's less like usable to me. Like I think that would be more challenging to use, but little strips like this, I have a whole video on my channel that tells you how to use like little strips of patterned paper, but I also often will just put these inside one of the cards. And so that way I've used it right away. Okay, so now we have our 12 by 12. We are going to cut it to 3 by 12 inches. So I will subtract 3 from 12. I've got 9, and then 6, and of course 3. And then I'm going to cut my focal panels off. And these are 3 by 5 inches. Now, there's plenty of room here that you could decorate with all kinds of extra stuff, and I certainly will on the cards that are not Christmas. However, this is a really pretty Christmas paper. It's got lots of images on it, so I thought it might be worth looking at these and deciding, is there any piece where I really like a lot of stuff that's going on? So like this piece has a really clear Santa on it. So I need a piece that's 3 by 5 and then some pieces that are 1 by 7 inches. So I wonder, is the Santa within the 5 inches? And if I look and I were to bring down my 5-inch measurement here, I would get the full Santa. And so I'm gonna cut my 5 inches off so that I get that image with Santa, and that will be, or that section with Santa, and that will be my focal point. And then I can cut the rest of this to the 1-inch mark. And I only need one other paper where there's a like really like clear image that I want to use. So I noticed here there's like a snowman, an angel, the black swan, and Santa like all kind of grouped together. So I'm also kind of curious, like if I cut the 5-inch mark, I'd get a lot of like really clear Christmassy images. So I think I will use that. I have to admit, I'm not quite sure the symbology of the black swan. There's a white swan too. So this must be a Christmas thing that I'm not as aware of. Or, I mean, I was thinking like, is it related to the Nutcracker? But I'm not an expert. Okay, you can let me know in the comments if you know why a black swan would be featured on a Christmas paper. Okay, and then I'm gonna cut these strips from the rest of the paper, and I will repeat that process with the other 2. However, I don't need to worry about like blocks of images because I'm going to be using the backside completely for my non-Christmas cards. So let's take a look at the basic layout and talk about cardstock mats. So this is what the card would kind of look like in the end. None of this is adhered down, but my cards that would not be for Christmas, I'd be using the same pattern throughout. And while the sketch comes with measurements for mats for the background strips and the larger focal point, I think I'm only going to do it for the focal point today. This is available in the Etsy shop, but I like to try to be really clear with the measurements. The measurements are pretty simple on this card, so I'll go over them again. We had said that 3x5 inch piece, and its mat would be 1/4 inch bigger, so it would be 3¼ by 5¼ Then those 3 pieces in the background are 1x7 inches. And so their cardstock mats are 1¼ by 7 inches because they're already the full length of the card. And so because you're actually not seeing as much of the mat, and the main purpose of these mats on the strips in the background is to separate it from the card base, and I think I could skip those just because this paper stands out pretty well from the white card base, whereas if I had like a pattern paper with a white background or something like that, then those mats would be more important. However, the mat of the focal point helps it to stand out from the other patterned paper. And so especially in this case where I'm using the same pattern paper, it's really important for that piece to come forward. But as you can see, it looks quite good here. Now, I could use all the Christmas pattern on my Christmas cards, but I'm going to choose not to do that today. I just feel like it looks a little busier. I like being able to mix patterns. That's my general go-to, use double-sided paper and mix patterns. So this is the layout I'm going to choose for my Christmas cards, and so I'll turn all of these over, but I just kind of wanted to show you like what they look like side by side to see why I might make one choice over the other. Complete are 2 non-Christmas and 2 Christmas cards. So for the not Christmas cards, I have all of the pink paper. I mounted it on the kraft cardstock. I picked kraft so that it would work well for both the Christmas and non-Christmas cards. And then these large sheep embellishments are from my spring card toppers. And when you purchase the card toppers, you get a easy to print PDF, which prints all of them in without images, black and white, and color at 2 inches. But you get all those same files as individual files that you can then make whatever size you want. So this is like the 2-inch version, but I was able to make them larger, and I believe these are 2 3/4 in order to like kind of fill more space on my card. So there's a lot of versatility in what you get when you purchase the card toppers. And while these were spring card toppers and have the little sheep image on them, as you can see, they work all throughout the year because it just says, "You are awesome." And then I have my Christmas cards. I thought about using some of my Christmas card toppers. I'd even printed a few that had this like in this pastel pink colorway that I thought would look cute with this patterned paper. However, because this pattern paper already had a lot going on, I wanted to go a little bit simpler, and so I chose this Joy die from scrapbook.com. And as you can see, it has a little bit of embossing detail in the letters, and I like my scrapbook.com magic mat because it helps to make sure those embossing details come through. And then the background that I layered it on was just some scraps of cardstock that I received in the same pack of paper from the thrift store. And I will link the arts and crafts thrift stores that I know of. I've compiled a list on jesscrafts.com. I haven't visited them all. I'm not endorsing them. I'm just letting you know that they exist, and it might be worth checking out in your area. And so I will place this Joy in a way that the center is solid green. You don't have to necessarily do that, but that's something I try to keep in mind when there's a die with like a cutout, is like what is showing through the cutout, and leaving it, because I had the opportunity to make sure it was the solid color. I think that winds up looking great. And also it just kind of fits in well with the images. I do sometimes put a stamp block down to hold something in place while it dries. And then I will have my 4 completed cards with 1 sheet of 12 by 12 Christmas paper, but both some Christmas and non-Christmas cards. If you found this video helpful, here's another video where you can find more ideas for enjoying your crafty time and supplies. Let me know you like this video with a share to your crafty community. Subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss the next template or tutorial, and check the video description for product links. See you in the next video.